Hello, I am Ms. Bowie, the orchestra director at Marietta Sixth Grade Academy, and I want to share with you the parts of a string instrument such as the violin, viola, cello, and bass. Some of the parts are the same and some are different. We're going to start with the very top of the instrument. This piece right here is called the scroll, and it's kind of fancy and has a little curve in it. And I would also encourage you as you listen to write in these parts on your diagram. So here is the top part, the scroll, S-C-R-O-L-L. From there, we're going to talk about the pegs. The pegs are made of wood, a hard wood, so that they don't break. And this is what we use to tune the instrument. So those are called pegs, P-E-G-S. The next part is number 3. This is called the peg box. So this is the space right in here where all the pegs and the strings are held. Below the pegs is the nut. So the instruments have a little piece of wood that sticks out just a little bit so that they can hold the strings up above the fingerboard so that when we press our string, the strings shorten. So that is the nut. The next part is very important. It's called the neck. So the neck of the violin, viola, cello, bass, is where we like to hold the instrument, especially if you're carrying it. You want to be very careful to hold it by the neck. And this is also where our fingers go. The part below that is called the saddle. That is this piece right here. You can see it. It kind of looks like a horse, and somebody could put a saddle on it and ride. This is what holds the neck to the body of the instrument, so it's very important. Over to the left is called the upper bout. So we're going to place it right here. So this is the upper bout, or some people refer to it as the shoulder. That's the upper bout. And number 8 is pointing to this long piece of wood where we put our fingers. So therefore it's called the fingerboard. Next is number 9, and it's pointing to these. Those are the strings. So the violin, viola, cello, and the bass have 4 strings. So we're going to place it right there in number 9. Number 10 is a really important part. It is, let me move it this way. This is called the bridge. The bridge is very fragile and small, and it is not glued in, so it can easily move, which also helps to create a good sound from the instrument. So the bridge holds the strings up off the fingerboard. So it's a really important part. But again, it's very fragile, so we never want to set our instrument down on the bridge. That's a no-no. So we'll find that word down here. There it is, bridge, and we're going to place it right here, number 10, because it's pointing to our bridge. So before we mentioned the upper bout, down here on number 11, this is the lower bout. So we have an upper and a lower bout. There's also one more bout. It's over here on number 13. That is this part right here. And it's shaped like the letter C. So we call it the C bout. And the C bout is there because this is where, when we play, the strings go across the C bout. And that's the same for the cello and the bass and the viola. So number 12, we're going to hop up here just for a second. The instrument is held together by glue only. It's not nailed. And the instrument has a front and a back, and it has these side pieces. These are called the ribs. So in order for the sound to escape, it has these holes. And on an instrument like this, they're very fancy and very pretty. And these are called F holes. So that's number 14. Number 15 is pointing to fine tuners. This is what we use to get this string in tune in an exact spot. So we use the pegs for gross motor, and this is for fine motor. We get it exactly right. So the next piece is the tailpiece. The tailpiece is important. This is number 16. The tailpiece is this piece down here. So if it were a cat or a dog, it would have a tail. The tailpiece holds the fine tuners and the string, so it's really important. Then it comes down here, and it's attached by, it looks like a string, but that's called the gut. We don't have that labeled on, but I wanted you to know that. This is called the gut. It's usually made of plastic or metal, and it is attached to an end button. This is what holds the tailpiece onto the instrument. So that is number 17. I already have it in there for you. And then a really important piece on a violin and viola is a chin rest. And it's carved just right for your chin to fit in there nice and easy and comfortably. So that's a chin rest. So one piece that a violin and viola do not have that cellos and basses have is an end pin. So a cello has an end pin. This has a little screw on it, and this pulls out. And this is so that cello and bass players can get the instrument to the exact right level so that they can play their instrument more easily. So again, be sure to write in these words in your diagram, starting with scroll at the top, peg box, pegs, nut. This section here is the neck. The entire piece of wood that we put our fingers on is the finger board. That's number 8. We have the upper bout and lower bout and the C bout. It has a saddle, and the side pieces are ribs. Don't forget the strings. There's 4 strings. The all-important bridge that holds the strings above the violin, viola, cello, bass. The C bout. These holes where the music escapes is F holes. Fine tuners. We have a tailpiece that's attached to an end button on a violin, viola, and cellos and basses have an end pin that goes in and out for adjustment, and a chin rest for the violins and violas. So I hope that's helpful and that you've learned all the parts of the violin. Thank you.